What's happening, guys? It's me, Adam, and welcome to the Unstoppable Acting Studio. And today I'm going to talk to you all about how to approach accents as an actor. Hopefully by picking up on some of these hints and tips I'm going to share in this video is going to help you approach any accent that you might come to as an actor. As you might have noticed, I'm a Scottish actor, about as Scottish as they come. It's great, you know, sometimes I can approach a role in my natural accent, but there's been many occasions where I've had to find ways to take on a different accent. Me personally, I don't have that great an ear for accents. You might just be lucky and you might have an amazing ear for accents. You might be able to pick them up, a bit like somebody would be able to pick up a musical instrument and just sort of play it. But for me personally, I don't have that great an ear for it, and I have to approach it much more systematically. And if you're at home and you're thinking, I need to follow something similar, then that's absolutely fine. I'm going to teach you some of the systems, some of the things that I follow in order to approach an accent. A lot of this is what I picked up from studying in drama school, but various vocal coaches, accent coaches would teach you exactly the same thing. So let's dive in. The worst thing in the world would be just to jump in and not give the accent any thought whatsoever. The brain works in very funny ways, and you might think you're doing an amazing job at speaking in a certain accent. However, if you're not analysing it and listening to it and seeking feedback, then you might end up like one of these people that appear on The X Factor thinking they're amazing singers, and all of a sudden Simon Cowell tells them, no, actually, you're pretty bad. You don't want to end up like that. You don't want to walk into an audition room and embarrass yourself. And I'd really recommend that you approach this in quite a pragmatic manner, that you're going to set aside time away from actually learning your lines, away from engaging with your objectives as an actor and doing all that character work. This is something that's, I guess, just a little more scientific in your approach, right? You need to take your script and break it up and figure out exactly how you're going to tackle the accent and practice it separately from actually practicing your acting. Nobody said it was easy being an actor. There's tons and tons of plates that you have to spin, tons of balls in the air that you have to keep up, and learning an accent is maybe just one of them. But my worry is, and the danger that I see a lot of actors go through, is they kind of think this accent thing, I've got it down. I don't need to worry about that. Like, I know it. And they end up just ruining the whole part because they've not paid enough attention to that side of things. So please approach this in a systematic way. So for me, what I do is I start to break apart vowel sounds and consonant sounds that I do. I like to have a good understanding of what the sounds that I make in my own accent. And then how can I adapt that? How can I manipulate the placement of my tongue, of my mouth? How can I adapt that, and how can I manipulate the sounds in my accent to fit the new accent? So I'll give you some examples. For example, my accent, I am from Aberdeen, which is in the northeast coast of Scotland. And if I'm looking just at vowel sounds, anybody here in the northeast of Scotland says cat, they have that sound going through their vowel sounds. I'll show you what I mean. So cat, fat, hat, it's an sound whenever we say these A's. Whereas if I take a Cockney accent, for instance, what you're going to hear is a lot sharper sound. So instead of this you're going to hear a bit like a witch laughing at a cauldron. So instead of cat, we get cat, hat, fat. This is just a very basic tweak, but you can see where I'm starting to get at. I'm taking my own accent as the foundation, and then I'm breaking it up systematically each sound. So another one might be when I say the I sound, I'd say in my own accent, like, find is I. Whereas if I was to just use Cockney, I'll just use Cockney as an example for the accents in this video. There's tons and tons of accents we could do, but we'll just do that one. The Cockney accent's I rather than I. Yeah, so already I'm thinking anytime I get an I sound in that accent, instead of I'm going I. So instead of saying like, I'd be like, find. And then as I'm starting to add these vowel sounds, I'm kind of noticing what my lips do more and more. It's quite like an aggressive sort of accent, the Cockney accent. And I'm starting to feel what my lips, what my tongue and what my teeth are doing as I'm speaking in this new sound. And I'm starting to try to pick up the vibe of it a little bit. So once I play around with vowel sounds in that accent, then what I'm starting to do is look at real differences that might be happening within the consonants. So one big one, picking out the Cockney accent again is the th sound. In my accent, I'd say the th sound, bothered, think, whereas taking it into a Cockney accent, the th, if it comes to a start of a lot of words, it becomes think, or if it's in the middle of a word, like bothered, it becomes bothered. Just having these rules, having these keys in, once you start to add them together bit by bit by bit, a bit like a puzzle piece, the more you adapt the sounds to a different accent, the more you'll have it. What are you waiting for? So I hope that's been helpful. It is something you need to practice. In all honesty, I love getting somebody that speaks that accent to record them speaking in that accent so I can get it as authentic as I possibly can be. The last thing you want to do is end up sounding like Dick Van Dyke. There's a Twitter account that's just sprung up. I think it's called Accents for Actors. I'm going to link that in the description. And it's a really good idea. Basically, it's allowing you to link up with other actors who might speak in that authentic accent and maybe get them to record some lines for you and stuff. Then you can listen to it, you can record it and listen to it again and again and again. I'd really recommend you sourcing some material or interviews on like YouTube and stuff, which is people speaking in that authentic accent, and just looking at it analytically. Like I've just shared in this video, breaking apart the consonant sounds, the vowel sounds that they might be using in that accent, and then just taking a bit of time to work with the script and record yourself saying the lines and listen to it. Go walks, go jogs of you listening to yourself, practicing in that accent, and ask other people as well, what do you notice, what sounds are weak. And in all honesty, if you're recording, if you're seeking feedback and stuff, very quickly you'll realise the words and the sounds that don't sound authentic, that kind of jar, and you will get those sounds in any accent that you try. And yeah, it's just a case of refinement and practice and practice and practice. Just another thing for you to add to your acting toolkit, something to work on, to think about, as if we didn't have enough already. But there we go, that's how I approach accents. I hope this was helpful. If you found value in today's video, I'd hugely appreciate it if you click that subscribe button. I've got tons more videos coming up on tips like this, acting techniques, and talking about a mindset for success. So I'd really appreciate it. Thanks so much, guys.